use Kickstarter. Is that a viable way to get a movie started?
Well, yeah, before the Kickstarter, because this is my first film, there's no way to show anybody your work because it's not there, and so I actually went to a lot of funding bodies and pitched my idea, but because I didn't have the work behind me. So the way me and a friend of mine, who was my partner in the film, we would save money just doing whatever kind of jobs. So I'd jump on a tour or, work in cafes or whatever it was, and he'd do the similar thing, and we'd save money for 3 months. And that'd give us enough to shoot for average of 3 months, and then we'd just bottom out and go broke, and then we'd save for 3 and then shoot for 3, and we did that for 1.5 years. And that was a good way to get things going, and that dictated what we could and couldn't shoot, because if we just couldn't afford to fly from Australia, I got to keep working in that cafe, And then once we got enough footage that I could cut a trailer together, I was able to start a Kickstarter campaign, and which was a successful one, thankfully. And then what that did, that brought in all these other people, and they became really aware of the film. Then I was able to get a producer, and then she was able to help find some light investment.
And then at a certain point, Quincy Jones comes into the film as part of the film, but then he also agreed to become a producer on the project. Is that what happened?
Yeah. So the crazy thing about that day when Quincy walks in is that none of us knew Quincy, and we were down at Clark's place shooting, and Quincy was Clark's first student. But we get this phone call, well, Gwen, his wife, got this phone call saying that Quincy Jones is coming down and he's bringing Snoop Dogg to record with Clark singing and Snoop rapping. And we were like, okay. And I was like, I don't know where Snoop, he was transitioning to Snoop Lion at the time. And it was like, I just figured we wouldn't be able to shoot it. But we just decided to shoot anyways. But Snoop was playing basketball with his son that morning and sprained his ankle and couldn't get on the plane, and Quincy was already on his way down. So all of a sudden Quincy walks in and we're shooting going, I hope this is okay. And he saw what we were doing and thanked us for doing it at the end of the day and signed the release and then left. And we were like, oh my God. And it was later on where we approached him about coming on as a producer, and he said yes. And because we had 87 music cues and we were just going into post-production, Quincy was the most gracious, amazing producer. Him and Paul are working together, and then to be able to approach all of these estates for all this music and try and get the prices down so we could keep it in the film, because Clark, I'd shown him those rough cuts of the film. And I was explaining maybe we might have to take this cut out or this song, and he'd be like, no man, I love that song.
Very shrewd on your part, that whole Quincy thing, the way you played that.